just got massive revenge on Obama. Former Sheriff Joe Arpaio just made an announcement that could spell more trouble for the Democrats. Sheriff Joe spent many years battling Barack Obama and his immigration policies that allowed the entry of numerous unvetted immigrants into our country, including ISIS operatives and others with terrorist ties. The two battled back and forth, with Arpaio defying Obama's orders. He began rounding up Obama's illegals and shipping them back to the homelands where they belonged. This enraged Obama, and the end result didn't work out in Sheriff Joe's favor. Sheriff Joe was hit with a 6-month prison sentence for merely upholding the Constitution and enforcing federal law, and Obama's minion in the form of liberal District Judge Susan R. Bolton outrageously claimed that the sheriff was committing a crime by detaining people based off their immigration status. Thankfully, when Trump was elected, Joe was pardoned for his crimes. After his release, Sheriff Joe described the horrors and abuse he received while being investigated by Obama's people. But now that Arpaio is a free man, he is planning his next move, and it is sure to infuriate Obama and the Democrats. Sheriff Joe is running for the U.S. Senate to replace the retiring Jeff Flake, according to the Washington Examiner. Republican Joe Arpaio, a close ally of President Trump and former sheriff known for his provocative approach to combating illegal immigration, is running for Senate in Arizona. The 85-year-old Arpaio could shake up the late August Republican primary in a critical open seat race to replace retiring Sen. Jeff Flake, Arizona. Trump pardoned Arpaio last summer, sparing the former sheriff jail time after he was convicted of ignoring a federal court order in a racial profiling case. The polarizing yet iconic former Maricopa County sheriff, beloved by many conservatives for his hawkish immigration policies, presents an alternative to the unimpressive Gully Ward and a potential obstacle to Rep. Martha McSally. She is expected to launch within days and is widely viewed as the Republicans' strongest general election candidate. In a telephone interview with the Washington Examiner, Arpaio shrugged off concerns about his age, dismissed Republican insiders' anxiety that his poor reputation with non-white voters would put the seat in play for the Democrats in the midterm, and discussed plans to work with Trump on behalf of Arizona. I have a lot to offer. I'm a big supporter of President Trump, Arpaio said. I'm going to have to work hard. You don't take anything for granted. But I would not be doing this if I thought that I could not win. I'm not here to get my name in the paper. I get that every day anyway. Arpaio served as the elected sheriff of Maricopa County, which encompasses Phoenix and surrounding suburbs, for 24 years until a Democrat ousted him in 2016. Through strict opposition to illegal immigration and unorthodox policing methods, Arpaio cultivated a national image as a tough, law-and-order cop. That made him a favorite of conservative media and popular on the GOP endorsement circuit as Republicans throughout the country sought to bolster the border security bona fides in primaries. Arpaio's sharp rhetoric and law enforcement practices also drew intense criticism. Democrats, some Republicans, and advocates for immigrants, both legal and illegal, accused him of unconstitutional racial profiling and even bigotry. Arpaio said he expects more of the same in his Senate campaign, but vowed not to alter his approach. My mother and father came here from Italy, legally of course. I have a soft spot for the Mexican community, having lived there, he said. I'm not going to get into my personal life, but I will say we have 4 grandkids and some have a different ethnic and racial background. I don't say that. I don't use my grandkids. So, I have a soft spot, but still, I'm going to do my job. You have to do it. Being a U.S. Senator is a little different than being the sheriff, because you can do a lot of things in the U.S. Senate, and I have many plans, believe me. It's tough. It's a tough decision. But if you're going to come across the border, you should be arrested and get the consequences of it, Arpaio added. If Sheriff Joe is elected, it will change the whole dynamic in the Senate. We have seen that Joe is not one to back down and is a man of honor. We can expect that Joe Arpaio will do what is right for the good of our country. This would be a disaster for the Democrats, and no doubt they're scrambling to come up with a strategy to ensure Joe never steps foot in the Senate chambers. Democrats are hypocrites and will do whatever in the power to stop President Trump and Joe Arpaio. They will use the Constitution to their favor when they can, but will be the first to throw it away when the opportunity presents itself. If Sheriff Joe wins the Arizona Senate seat, President Trump will have an incredible ally in his battles. No doubt, Obama is flipping out over the prospect of Senator Joe Arpaio. I think it has a nice ring to it. How about you?